Now, moving ahead, as we are studying about the customer discovery and validation, see, our focus in this module is to understanding the target user and problem type. So, we are going to discuss this particular parameter in upcoming four slides, right? And you can say in upcoming four topics, those are building basic user persona, conducting effective customer interviews, mapping user journeys and pain points, problem solution fit. Okay. So we'll explain one by one that what they are, what is their importance, and why, as an entrepreneur, it is very important us to click every box of our checklist, right? Because see, you should not have to be a kind of person who come across understood by everyone. As Jeff Bezos once said, that something like that, that you have to willing to be misunderstood, while you put any idea on table or when you bring any innovation on table. So this is what Jeff Bezos said, not exactly, but on the grounds that uh, if people will misunderstood you, that's fine. You should make sense to yourself, to your business, right? And then sky's limit. Why I use this quote here? Because when we go and study these four parameters, building basic user persona, conducting effective customer interviews, mapping user journeys and pain points, problem solution fit, you will realize that the the opportunities and the areas wherein you can look for is infinite. And while you will do it practically, then you will understand that why I use that quote. Because when you use anything practically, then you're able to connect the dots, and you're able to understand, okay, maybe this thing what I'm doing does not make sense to people, does not make sense to society, does not make sense to the social norms, but as for my business, as for my product or my services or my market, it does make sense. So go for it. For an instance, I'm just using a quick example. uh, uh, there is a very famous case studies which we will discuss in detail once we'll reach to the module of marketing. But here I just wanted to quote an example that uh, if you have not studied, please go back to your area of interest. Maybe it's reading, maybe it's a video, maybe it's a audiobook, but you know just go through the case study of how Red Bull, you know, done the marketing of their product, and that's crazy. There was a time when they thrown the empty cans of Red Bull outside the clubs and bars and pubs of United States. Sorry, UK. Why? Because they wanted people to perceive it as a product which is highly used by people, and everybody got curiosity in the morning. Oh my god, oh, there are so many empty cans of Red Bull. What is this Red Bull? Let's buy it. And that's how they you know create the curiosity in people's mind. So this is, does it make sense to anyone? Maybe no, but they were confident because it was making sense to them, right? So there are so many examples we can take from the history of mankind since inception, since business started, that how people utilize every bit of opportunity, how people utilized every core of resources, how people optimize every resource to reach to the heights, to reach to the success. And this is again a very, very important for any entrepreneur.